Hello and welcome to a brand new Godot video or tutorial. Today I'm going to be going over top-down smooth player movement. For example, this type of movement here in Godot, you can move any way. You have friction, so you slide to a stop. And you can go basically in any direction, the same exact speed. So if you want to know how to make this, make sure you guys do follow along with this tutorial. This is going to be a pretty intense tutorial. Not really, there's only like 30 lines of code, I think, but let's just get into this tutorial. So, and like any player in Godot or any type of moving object or thing, we're gonna need a 2D or a kinematic body 2D. So let's add that. We can add a sprite so we can actually see our kinematic body and a collision shape. Collision shape 2D. So we have collisions. We're not actually going to be using collision shapes today because we're working on movement, but they are handy for in the future. So let me just set up the collision shape real fast. And hold up, just so you know, this is how you set up a collision. I cannot speak. This is how you set up a collision shape if you did not know. So after you add the collision shape 2D, you're going to want to go over here. And it's going to tell you to pick a shape. You're just going to pick rectangle, depending on what you're using. I'm just going to pick a rectangle, and you can just size it up to fit your character or your sprite, technically. Let's lock the child, and let's add a script. Random stuff. There we go. Like any character, we're gonna need a couple variables for like speed, motion, and stuff, and we're gonna be making this smooth, so we're gonna need some type of acceleration. Speed is like 300, I guess. We're gonna need some type of acceleration. We can name it acceleration, but that's too long. Don't really feel like typing that out all the time. We'll just name it like speed up, I guess. Yeah, we'll go with that. It doesn't really matter. So we'll do 1,000. That's a pretty decent amount. And we need our motion, which is going to be a vector 2. And we're going to want to equal that to 0. Bam. There we go. And now we need a function physics process. So functions physics process. And you want to have delta in there. And I'm going to probably do something a little different than what I did on the 2D platformer movement, just because I want to try some stuff out. Or I did try it out again, or I tried it out earlier. It worked. So in our physics process, we're going to want to make a variable called access, which is just going to be like our input access, which real fast, we're going to have to make a function. So let's go. So we'll name this function, I just like, let's go with get input access, because, you know, basic names are the best. Get input access. Let's make a variable, which is just going to be a vector 2. We'll just name it access, because that's the whole point of this function. And that's just going to be a vector 2 that's equal to vector 2 that's equal to 0. There we go. Now, here's the entire input. So this is basically all the input. You should be able to move your character after this. Maybe. Hopefully. But, actually, no, you won't. Not yet. After we finish the input, you won't be able to move your character yet. But you will soon. But this is not the smooth part. This is just basic input. So we'll just do input or an integer. We want to make the input into an integer. So let's see, is action pressed UI right. We can do UI right, and then you're going to want to minus that by an integer. So basically all this is going to do here, I'll explain it here in just a second. So, and then you're going to want to copy that same part, input dot is action pressed, and then just do UI left for the left side. There you go. Yeah. So basically all this does is if you're clicking right or pressing right, then the axis.x is going to be equal to 1. But if you're clicking left, then axis is going to be equal to -1, if that makes any sense. And if you're clicking none, it's going to be equal to 0. Because axis x is going to be equal to integer, or the integer of, so if you're clicking right, it's going to say 1. So if there's any type of input, it's going to say 1. If there's any type of input in here, it's going to be 1, but it's going to be subtracting. So if this is not being inputted, or there's nothing being inputted into this, it's going to be 0, right? So if we're not clicking right and we're clicking left, this is going to be a 0. This is going to be a 1. Whoops. This is, okay, just down here is going to be a 1. Down here is going to be a 1, so it's going to go 0 here, and it's going to subtract 1, which is going to be -1, which is what we want in the variable. But if this is being, if you're clicking right and you're going right, it's going to be 1. This is going to be 0, so it's going to subtract the 0, and this is going to be equal to 1, because 1 minus 0 is nothing. So +1, here, wait, we'll write that down. Oh, this is so far down there. Why is it so far? Okay, I'll just add a comment. So 1 is equal to right, -1 is equal to left. Very bad at explaining that. Hopefully you get the point. If not, leave a comment. I'll try and explain it in like words in the comments. So if you don't get anything in this video, just comment down below what you don't get, and I'll go over it, and I'll make sure that you understand what we're talking about. And there we go. I think I just clicked stop recording. No, we good. All right. So we're going to want to do the same thing for axis.y, which is going to be our up and down, which in the platformer movement, we didn't need this, but now we do. So basically the exact same thing that we put up there. Why is it not? There we go. Action. Okay. Oh, that's why it's not helping me out. There we go. Action.press, and we're gonna want to start with UI down. UI down. There we go. And then we're gonna subtract the up. So integer of, and the axis Y works the exact same as axis X. I cannot speak. It's 1 a.m. though, so like, yeah. All right. Access action. Press just like the one before, and then we're gonna want to do UI up for this one. Same thing as up here. This is, if this is being pressed, it's equal to 1. If this is being pressed, it's equal to 1. If this is not, it's 0. If this is pressed, it's equal to 1. If this is not, it's 0. It's going to be -1. If this is pressed, it's going to be equal to 1. If this is not pressed, it's going to be equal to 0, which is going to equal this to 1. And that's going to make us go down. But if this is not pressed, this is pressed. So this is a 1. This is a 0. 0 minus this 1 is going to be -1. So that means we'll be going up on the axis. If that makes any sense at all. If none of that made sense for this entire part, just comment down below. I will help you. My bad if it didn't make sense. All right, return. We're going to run. I actually cannot speak. Okay. We are going to want to return the access, and we want to we'll normalize it as well. Which normalizing in like the basic terms, basic terms, is basically just changing the vector to face whatever we want to face, and in this way this is going to face right, left, up, or down. This is like that's a very basic saying of it. There's a lot more to it, but I'm going to keep everything in as basic as I possibly can, and then as we go through different tutorials we'll get more in depth. So now we can actually go up here and do the variable access is going to be equal to get input access, which is all of this. So access is now equal to all this, which is good. All right, so now let's see if access is going to be equal to vector 2, vector 2 dot 0. So if it's equal to vector 2.0, which means we have 0 input, no input at all, then we're gonna want to have friction. So if it's equal to nothing at all, we're gonna want to have friction. So for now we will pass. We gotta make a new function that's gonna be our friction function, so we can come to a stop and not just halt to a stop. So we'll just name this apply friction. There we go. Boom. Is that spelled right? I think that's spelled right. If it's not, it's 1 a.m. I'm tired. So, all right. If motion dot length is going to be great. So basically, if motion dot length is greater than amount, which is going to be in a variable, we need to add that. We'll just name the variable amount. We need to add variable amount to the return here. So make sure you do that, because we do need amount here. So, or you can put anything here. You can put X, but anywhere where I put amount, you have to put X, or whatever you put here, you gotta put wherever I put amount. So you might as well just put amount so you can have the exact same. All right. Then we can go motion minus equal to motion normalized, which again, normalized just means changing the vector to face in the same direction in basic terms. And then we want to times that by amount. I think there's too many spaces there. All right. And then we'll just do else is motion. Whoops. Motion is going to equal vector 2.0. Is that? Yeah, that should be fine. Motion equals vector 2.0. All right. Now we can go up here to this pass here, and then we can do or apply friction function. And then we're going to want to put some stuff in here. We're going to want to do our variable up here, which is basically our acceleration, which we named speed up. You probably named it acceleration. If not, just do exactly what I do. If you did do it acceleration though, then make sure you put in acceleration here and not speed up. And then we're going to want to times that by our delta. So whatever you put here, then that's what you put here. All right. Now we are going to want to be able to apply our movement. So if axis equals vector 2, it's going to stop. If it's not equal to vector 2, so else. If it's not equal to vector 2, we're going to want to apply movement, which means we got to go and we got to make a new function. Very basic. We'll just name it apply movement, just like that. All right. Here we're going to want speed up, or we're going to want our acceleration variable, which is speed up, same thing. And then we're going to want to do motion plus equal our speed up variable, and then so that's just going to add the motion until we get to our max speed, and then motion. All right, so that's just gonna keep adding, but then we're gonna want to be able to stop. So if we get to speed, we're gonna want to stop. We're not gonna want to go past speed. So we can do a simple command called clamp, and we'll do motion is equal to motion dot clamp, and then we're gonna want to put our speed variable in there. So basically it's gonna add our acceleration, but once we get to the clamped, or I mean once we get to our speed, which is max speed right here, which is 300, then it's gonna clamp it at speed, and it's not gonna be able to go past speed. Again, if nothing in here makes sense, you just leave a comment down below, because I'll probably be responding midday and not at 1 a.m. So that may help a little bit. Alright. This is all looking pretty good. We're so close to done. We just need to apply the movement up here. All of the extra functions are done. So our apply movement function, which we just made out of here, we're gonna need like 2 or 3 it's 3. So axis, we're gonna want to take our axis variable, which is all this, because it's this one variable. Axis, we're gonna want to times that by our speed up, our acceleration. So this means, let's see, axis. So if axis x is equal to -1, then it's gonna times our speed up by that. So our speed up will then equal -1,000. So whenever it comes down here, it's going to minus 1,000, or minus, it's gonna minus 1,000, which is gonna go to -300, which is then gonna make us go left. If that makes sense. If not, again, leave a comment, and I can get to you. I just got back off of like a 7-week vacation, so I'm recording like 2 or 3 videos tonight, so I can have them out throughout this week. So bear with me. All right, speed up times, and then we're gonna want to times that by our delta. Boom, there we go. All right, that should be it. Yeah, we'll do that. Hold up. That should be it, hopefully. Oh wait, hold up. Let me move this to the center. Not really the center, but that would do. I am not smart at all. Yeah. Okay, we need to have a move and slide. How it's 1 a.m. How do I forget that? Motion, move, and slide, and then we're gonna want to have our motion variable. And still no. Oh wait. What? Why can't I go? I can go every other way, but I can't go right. What is going on? Oh. Yeah, okay. We have to put UI right because that's the name of right. So it's not even taking my input. And there we go. Wow. That took a lot longer than expected. That did take a lot longer than expected. I'll pop a picture of the code on screen right now if you want to like examine it. But yeah, I mean, this is smooth player movement in 2D platformer. Alright, not a platformer, a top-down game. Alright, I'm gonna get some bed. Get some bed. What am I? I'm gonna go get some sleep. So tomorrow I can make a better video and I know what I'm actually talking about. But again, if none of this made sense, just ask me in the comments and I will explain it in paragraph form. And if you don't want it in paragraph form, just let me know. Say simple form and I'll do that for you too. But thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry that I filmed this at 1 a.m. but hopefully it helped. Hopefully it did help. If it did, let me know in the comments, or just let me know by hitting that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. And if you are new and you haven't already went and hit that subscribe button, make sure you do so you don't miss a future Godot tutorial. But other than that, I'll see you guys later. See you guys later, and I'll see you tomorrow. I need sleep. You know, I'm going to bed. Have a nice and wonderful day. Be safe and peace.